Live streaming is on.
Ooh.
Ooh. This is new. Um. So, do we think that we are kind of complete?
One sec, I want to quickly set up the wiki page. And 8:15. And is there a link for the live stream?
I'm working on that.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yeah, it's coming through. Loud and clearly.
Woo! Finally.
Okay. I have... And you all... Yeah, so the point is, like, last time this whole headphone thing worked very well because I put on, like, literal headphones and disabled every other mic in my system. But this time, not so much.
Okay. Sorry, did you have a YouTube link? Actually, it doesn't matter.
It's on Needs. I'm posting it all over the internet right now.
Okay, fair enough. Alrighty. I keep forgetting how to do. Project call August 2019. Minutes. Okay, we'll start with Derek, and then we can talk about the Create release. Does that work for everyone?
Yes.
Derek? Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to take notes while you talk, and then... Actually, Max, you can talk about the release now, so take notes then. Okay, so and I'm going to count down, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the August 2019 project call for the GNU Radio project. We have 2 major items on our agenda. Maybe some more will pop up as we talk. First one being GNU Radio conference, where Derek will give us an update, and then we'll actually talk about the 3.8 GNU Radio release. Okay, Derek.
Thanks. So the GNU Radio conference is less than a month away at this point, or almost exactly, actually. It starts on the 16th. So we're, 31, 32 days away. Running the 16th to the 20th in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm sure it's no surprise to anyone listening in, but this is our yearly conference. So we have Monday through Thursday is completely jam-packed. We can't fit any more in with talks all throughout the day. We have 3 keynotes. We have Travis Goodspeed. I really should know exactly what he's famous for other than awesome cybersecurity stuff. But I think that is probably a reasonable introduction right there. He has done a bunch of SDR work in the past, including doing some open firmware for DMR radios. Mark Shuttleworth from Canonical, the makers of Ubuntu, will be giving a keynote, as will Robert Suggs, talking about the Apollo landing. We have 4 workshops, a couple of them being run multiple times. Analog Devices is going to be running one about their Pluto SDR, libIO, and how to use it from within C++, Python, GNU Radio, all in open source tool chains. Edis Research, part of National Instruments, will be discussing their RFNOC FPGA DSP framework and giving an introduction to GNU Radio. When I said there were 4 workshops, I should have said 5. There will also be an introduction to GNU Radio run by several members of the GNU Radio project. And finally, there is a co-channel awareness and mitigation, talking about how to deal with multiple signals on the same frequency, being given by Joshua Mormon, part of Perspecta Labs. So quite the week and a lot of stuff going on. There's also a fourth keynote that I missed in my initial list. Apologies. That's Mark Spencer talking about opportunities for software radio in aviation. He's the co-founder of, or the founder of Digium, which runs the Asterisk project. Right now, registration is not yet full, so there's still a chance to get tickets. The registration price is $625 through the end of the month, so definitely snag your ticket before September 1st if you can. Just simply because of the logistics of adding people last minute, we do have to raise the price on September 1st, and it will be a significant increase. So please do register in advance. It helps us, it helps you. It's definitely an all-around win. It should be a great week. The overall theme of the conference, kind of for the year, is space in all of its forms. And there's a bunch of great talks along that, as well as all the other topics that GRCon has had in the past, and of course, new ones. That's pretty much the summary of the conference. I'm super excited about it. I think a lot of other people are super excited about it, and I can't wait. And I guess we're going to have to miss next month's project call or give it during the middle of the conference. I know that there's going to be some updates by Ben Hilburn and Marcus Mueller about the state of GNU Radio, both the code and the project. So that may have to suffice as the project call.
Yeah, there will be no project call. We actually mentioned that last month, but thanks for the reminder. Well, thank you so much. And I'm just gonna, in the name of all GNU Radio enthusiasts, I'll thank you and the GRCon committee for doing all of the work that you've been doing to make the conference happen. So I don't know if everyone realizes this, but the committee is volunteer run, as is most of GNU Radio. So it's, I think, extremely impressive that what we can pull off conference wise on a yearly basis as a GNU Radio project. Okay, and with that, I'll let Marcus talk a little bit about. Marcus, did anything important happen on the codebase in the last 2 weeks, last month?
I've not been following so closely. Actually, I don't think so. No, actually, yeah, we did finally do the 3.8 release. That's been in the pipeline for 6 years. So we, for those of you who are new to GNU Radio, GNU Radio's been kind of stuck on the 3.7 release cycles since 2013, and that had the good effect of it being rather stable. It also had the bad effect of it being rather stale in development, because everyone who wanted to change things that might break things just had to wait. And we finally fixed that. So right now, we are in the first days of existence of Radio 3.8.0.0. I'm super excited about that. We see lots and lots of people building it on their PCs or installing it from binaries. If you're using Debian experimentally, you can simply apt install it and everything works out of the box. I'm really great shout out to all the distro maintainers out there that make these things happen. So yeah, that means that right now we do 3 things. One thing is we're not letting GNU Radio 3.7 die, but that basically means that we're closing important bugs. Then we develop and improve and bug fix 3.8 releases. So I'm pretty sure that we'll see 3.8.1 and a couple of other releases. And on the master branch, we're starting to work on GNU Radio 3.9. So that's what the project does right now. What does the user have from GNU Radio 3.8 though? So first of all, everyone who's been using GNU Radio knows that it used to be stuck on Python 2. And the good news is that 3.8 finally supports Python 3. And since that's going to be the Python version of the future, 3.8 is also the last release that will support Python 2. That's pretty exciting for us because it means that we can, use all the fancy stuff that's in Python, and also Python 3, and also not worry about all the unfixable things in Python 2. Other things were like, modern Qt. We improved like our whole build system, which makes it a lot easier to build GNU Radio reliably on different systems. So we're pretty optimistic about being able to deploy GNU Radio on more and more systems. What we also did, and I'm personally very, very happy about that because I get to work with that code every day, is that we ran a whole tree code formatting automation on that. So right now, the code is looking very fine. And if you want to start diving into GNU Radio, fix your own stuff, add features that we are missing right now, it's a lot easier because you don't have to worry about strange mixed indentations and missing things. So it's been a great relief that we were finally able to do that. Yeah, so that's it from my side, I guess.
Yeah, very cool. I think everyone's pretty excited. We got a lot of good press for that. It was on Hacker News and other places.
Yeah. Everyone kept copying my release notes. That was kind of funny. That never happened to me, that someone repeats what I said. So,
So, Marcus, I have a couple of questions for you, like for developers, like what they have to worry about or care about now. So, first of all, the Clang format thing is so great. I'm so happy. Like, finally, I can actually read the code again.
yeah.
And it's consistent. And also, so what does that mean? Like, do people have to change their habits now? And what about code that they've written in the past?
So, like, if you've written code in the past, then it's obviously still going to compile. We just, change the code formatting. So that you don't have to worry about your own modules for GNU Radio stopping to work because of the code formatting. It might stop to work because of, 3.8 is a different version, so it has different API in a few places. But it's not that big of a fundamental change. So chances are, with a little adoption, that works. If you're now starting to submit, like, say, a pull request, you found your favorite block in GNU Radio, say, multiply, and you figured out, oh, that doesn't multiply, but it also adds +1, and you're submitting a code fix there, and that code doesn't happen to be properly indented, then I will kindly remind you that it would be awesome to run Clang format on that code or use an editor that does that for you automatically. And the good thing is that we're not going to be upset if you commit code. That's never going to happen. But the good thing is that the Clang format file that we use to format the tree is in the tree right now. That means that most tools can automatically use the right formatting when you write code. So our code formatting is not really like exotic or something. It's basically LLVM with a few improvements for like SDR stuff. And that's it. So I think it's actually easier because honestly, advising a couple of students, doing proper code formatting improves your workflow. And forcing you to do so forcing is a bit of a hard word, by encouraging you to do so, by offering your tools the files that they need to automatically do that, helps a lot. So I think that it's going to be great for most developers. And you can locally run that Clang format too. I mean, no one's stopping you from just take that Clang format file from the root of our source code and just use your Clang format locally. It works.
You mean for out-of-tree modules or for the modifications to GNU Radio?
Obviously, like if you're doing a modification for GNU Radio, you do that in the shape of a patch or a pull request. So most probably a pull request. So your tree is gonna be formatted like mine. If you have like an older branch from which you forked of your feature, and that's not yet formatted, then you probably do the code formatting with Clang format yourself, so that both trees look identical aside from your now nicely formatted changes. So, yeah.
So there's plenty of like blogs and stuff out there about how to use Clang format, and it's a bit of a matter of personal preference. So I love Clang format because I can just like bash code into my window and then let Clang format, make it nice, and that means I don't have to like indent and tab while I'm typing. I personally don't like it when my editor does it while I type. So one thing I did was I added a Git hook when I try and commit my code. Like there's a script run in the background that makes sure that like that particular patch that I just submitted is actually correctly formatted. But there's so many ways you can do this without any like mental overhead, any cognitive extra load. Like most editors have Clang format integration, so this is really not hard. It's just something you need to get used to.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great change. Okay,
Also,
cool.
as I said,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, if you submit a bug fix or a feature for GNU Radio, we're not going to scream at you because it's not properly formatted. We're going to help you format that. So do not hesitate.
Excellent. Marcus, is there anything else we want to talk about with regards to this massive release?
So it's not. First of all, it's not going to be the last release of GNU Radio. So we are already working on 3.9. That will include a lot of things that aren't already there. We will work with more hardware. We'll improve a lot of the things. We'll throw out Python 2, which will probably make Phil and a couple of people very, very happy. So we are actually working on the future of GNU Radio now, and 3.8. Honestly, it's a lot of housekeeping. We are updating a lot of dependencies that were getting outdated, obsolete. We fix a lot of build issues. We fix a lot of installation issues. It's like a nice intermediate release kind of thing. And it gets us the freedom to actually work forward more quickly. So that means that if you're working on things that are very future-oriented, please be aware that master is going to be the branch that's going to be 3.9, and main 3.8 is the branch that we'll release every 3.8 point whatever release from. And we will very much try to get every feature that we add to main 3.8 into master first, because that's the future. That should be a lot easier. Also, I was sending out my compliments to the distro maintainers earlier. So we're in contact with basically all of the major distros maintainers, which mainly means Debian, Fedora, and thus EPEL and the other Fedoroids. With the Gentoo folks, I don't actually know about. I even think about even the Arch folks are in contact with us. So we're pretty positive that this will end up in binary packages soon. This would probably be the fastest market-hitting release of GNU Radio ever, and hopefully you will need to rely on source building less and less and less and less over the years, because most users just want to use GNU Radio, not build GNU Radio. So I'm very happy about the state of that. It's just going to be a lot of work.
And I think it's worth pointing out that, so you were saying we will be working towards 3.9, but we will still be working on 3.8 because
of course.
It's unlikely that we probably missed stuff, but we also didn't want to delay the release any longer. So bear with us if there's stuff still broken on 3.8 and help us get it fixed, and we will do so.
Yeah. But really try it out right now, because GRC feels so much nicer by now. So if you're a user that usually just goes into the GNU Radio companion and clicks together, it's your flow graph. you totally not want to miss this release. So go out there and try it out. We'll definitely have more self-built packages for a lot of distros in a while. We're working on that. But I can't offer you like a 3.8 package build for, say, Ubuntu right now. As said, that needs some work on our side.
Excellent. Okay, those were the two big agenda items that we had for today. Is there anything else that we forgot or any announcements?
I think we should be talking about the fact that Mark and someone else whose name I keep forgetting, I'm sorry.
Is it?
They've been doing great things with the documentation. So that's also something that gets integrated into GRC now, is that if you go into the documentation tab, you'll find a link to a website where there is a documentation for that block that isn't like developer documentation in the sense of being an API documentation, but more describes like this block mathematically and practically does this and that. So I think this is like the main usability feature that we'll do and have for a lot of people is better documentation. So this is probably something that a lot of people were actually waiting for.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh yeah, and
go ahead.
And sorry, I just remembered. Like next week, a lot of the GNU Radio folks, even those that are here in the channel, will be at camp in Mildenberg, Germany, Chaos Communication Camp. And if you see us, walk up to us, say hello, tell us how much you use GNU Radio for your everyday lives, and maybe we have something to tell you. So expect us.
One thing I wanted to add here was that today, I think, FOSDEM asked for requests for dev rooms, and we will apply again, just FYI. So if you want to talk next year at FOSDEM, that would be awesome. So I don't know if we will have a dev room because we need to wait for the confirmation, but we will definitely apply again. And just to be clear, this is not a GNU Radio dev room. It is a software-defined radio, free software dev room. Last year was called the Free Software Radio Dev Room because we don't just want it to be about GNU Radio.
Oh, actually, Martin, I have one more item too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's Alexa yelling at me. So I have one more item. We are exploring the idea of providing quote-unquote office hours from GNU Radio developers. We're not totally sure what this might look like. We're talking about things like setting up one-on-one sort of pair programming sessions, live streaming development, providing mentorship to students or people who are trying to use SDR for various hobbyist or cybersecurity research purposes, for example, but who need help or don't have access to knowledgeable SDR people around them. So we're kind of exploring ideas here, and so this is something that the core leadership team of GNU Radio is going to be discussing in more detail at GRCon in a month. So we put together a survey to sort of gather feedback and ideas and gauge interest from people in the community who might, want or be interested in one-on-one time from experienced SDR developers. So there's a short Google Forms, and Martin, I don't know if there's a way to add this to the notes. But if that's something that you're interested in, if you could just take a minute to fill out the survey and let us know that you're interested and share your thoughts, that would be super helpful for us.
Yeah, I'll add the link. Actually, Ben, if you could paste it into Slack real quick, then I don't have it right now. Yeah. Well, cool. I think this is great. Like the amount of things that are happening right now in the GNU Radio world are amazing. Like between the conference, the community engagement, and of course the release. I think it's a good time to be in GNU Radio. So thanks everyone.
Yeah. One thing though, like live coming in, like our Debian maintainer just said that he was able to roll the Vogue project into an own package, and it got accepted into Debian Unstable, which means that if you're into SIMD optimized code that we also use in GNU Radio, you can now use our project. So this is astonishingly fast how things unfold right now in packaging.
Great. I guess we're gonna have to stop the call soon. Otherwise, we'll keep adding agenda items at this rate. Yeah. So thanks everyone. We'll post the link for this call. For the recording to this call on the wiki, and we'll probably also post it on the mailing list. Thanks everyone for contributing. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and bye bye.
Bye bye.